Good afternoon, wonderful viewers. This is Sunu Side TV. Welcome. This afternoon, our guest is no other than Edward Saho. One might ask yourself who Edward Saho is. Those have been watching football in the Farafenni Museum for quite around 2012 towards 15. They must know who Edward Saho is. He's the former national referee of the Gambia Football Federation, and also Edward Saho was also a referee assessor, West Coast Region assessor, and also former Student Teachers Association, the Gambia College, and likewise former Speaker of the Legislative Council of the Gambia College Student Union, Edward Saho, also is currently a lecturer at the Gambia College Physical Education and English Language Department. That's in brief rundown who Mr. Saho is, but as time goes on, we get to know who Mr. Saho is and what is he doing right now. Good afternoon to you, sir.
Good afternoon, and thank you very much. Kontaan torop si this invitation. Bu ma duggee fii dama kontaan. It's an indication our town is growing. Yes, and I'm happy that the young people are investing. I'm such a magnificent, work being done in the studio here, all by young people. So there's prospect for Farafenni and the young people. So kontaan na torop, and then I'm greeting all the people that might be watching currently. And then saying to them that I'm impressed by the work that is done on the studio here. So thank you.
Mr. Saho, firstly, dañoo bëgg ñu waxtaan si sa referee career, because gis nañ ne Edward jógee fii ñëpp dañ ko xamoon ne he was a referee, because gis nañ ne that's the area, in fact, that's the area fu nga nekkoon first. But first, in fact, ñeneen bu ñu doon study la xamoon si time school da nga nekkoon naan athletes, you are very good at sprinting. Wax ñu tuuti loolu si sa career in athletics balaa ñu dugal.
Yes, thank you for that question. From now, Farafenni Fini, I am popular in two areas: athletics and refereeing. Because football, I've never played competitive football aside from Dara Abdu Uni. So I've never played competitive football. So I am not popular as far as football is concerned. Athletic tamit, I did athletics for 2 years. 2 years, yes. Represent Anglican. Bu ma nekkee grade 10 Anglican senior laa ko def laa dawe woon at the time. Dama dem 1,500 meters. So, and then the following year, I moved to Farafenni Senior. That was when I became a sprinter. So 400 meter, I was a 400 meter runner, and then fourth time, then when they qualified for the senior relay team, that was the year Yajame ban Dow, inter schools, that's for ban on. So unfortunately, demuma at the national level, because it was banned there. From regional competition, you were transit to the national level, it was banned there.
I think that was a violence that happened at the somewhere in Zone 4, around URR, LRR. I could remember vividly that year.
Exactly. So, so unfortunately, I did not participate in national athletic championship. It's only stopped at regional level. Then, coming down after summer grade 12, in the late 2012 towards 2013, Fofula another career, which was refereeing. And then, to reflect, it was very funny. I had a friend, Kutuda Ali Jallo. Mom, he was already a referee at the time. So, we do virtually everything together. And Sumademe start, the madam talk where the fans and footballers sit. So I madam talk at mom, see bench before so the committee at the time they identify him to be a non-violent person because I am always with referees. So I guess I was regarded to be a good person from the community perspective. Legi mu amon ben match. I can't remember the particular game. Assistant referee bi ñëw may ku ñëw a linesman. So I was the only option available for that particular match. Solomons, I was not prepared because I never saw myself becoming a referee. So I dressed casually but then dañ abon yenen sport ñu jox mako. The players too understood that I was the only neutral person on that ground. So they understood ñu allow ma ma ñëw nekk linesman. So I committed mistakes, but they understood also that I was not a trained personnel to officiate that match. And match bi duñ ko mëna abandon because linesman ñëwut. So Ali was supportive. None la ñëwé into refereeing. You know, it's within a blink of an eye. Ma ñëw nekk referee. So the next game tamit kooku ñëwut. Think moom mu ngi woon on strike, something like that. Because 2 consecutive matches ñëwut. Then I was also asked to do what I did the previous day. So non la continue. And after that, now I wanted to play for Raiders. And then train fini Nawek len dan train. So the committee said, since man mom, damade andak Ali, and then I have respect. And then so far to them, they were impressed with what I did. You know,
those were the Mama Jang.
Yes, Mama, yes, Jang. Yeah, so they were impressed. So that was how I suddenly find myself in the refereeing fraternity. So when I left for the combos in 2013-14, Madam, and then I continued refereeing as a career now. That is when I was exposed to professional training. But while I was in town, what I saw on TV was what I practiced on the ground. So yes, I was never trained, but Buma Deme Combo, that was where I began a professional career in refereeing. I was exposed to training new techniques as far as refereeing is concerned.
Well, talking about that, how you become a referee, which means there must be a series of obstacles or challenges from the players and the coaches sometimes during your days in Farafenni. Tell us, please, one of your experience you go through.
Yes, for me, my experience in Farafenni was bittersweet, because I grew up with people who would always expect that the decisions I take on the field of play will be influenced by the personal relationship we had. You know, not knowing that the game does not accommodate such. So they frown at me because the decisions they were expecting for me to take, I don't take such decisions. So contacting on that, I lost a lot of friends, and I became unpopular because of refereeing. The people that I was close with that were players, you know, all of a sudden gave a distance to me. So no line one feeling, and then I was all to myself, because now Ramadan avoid public gatherings. Because public gatherings, you have young people, is football they discuss, and I'm supposed to be the one to officiate for them. So that is such gatherings, some of them they will expect some decisions will be at their favor because they know how. So because of that, I refrain myself from public areas, and then no lab becoming unpopular, and then people were at some point would ask me if I'm in town. Yeah, I'm in town. Why? Gain the 1 year corner. Because refereeing is very difficult. You cannot be a friend to everybody, particularly players. They are that selfish kind of, if you would call it. They want all decisions to favor them. If it favors them, you are good. Why shouldn't favor, you are not good. So these were some of the challenges we had back in Farfanya here. And then, of course, resources were limited because we were not exposed to capacity building at the time. The FAB do invest much in football. So yadan defalal lo xam rek ya ko jangal sa bopa, because there was nobody to teach you what to do. So we watch European competitions, and then whatever they do there was what we replicate here. If we see a referee blowing a foul, what happened? Was it in line with the laws of the game, or was it purely based on match management skills? Come on. So yeah.
Interesting, so which means your time in Farafenni was interesting. But looking back in your time in Farafenni, in your referee career, which games would you rate, or which game would you remember as one of the most memorable ones?
Yes, the game with Rockland, yeah, Rockland was a memorable game that I will not forget. In fact, that game, there was hooliganism in that game. It ended prematurely. And then there was also one final. Final book term, it was also, it ended prematurely. So you knew first on gaming, they were memorable to me. And the Dumoulin Fate, because at that time, so Hole Farfan, our football has gone forward. Our football has totally evolved rather, dafa change, dafa changement dafa am ci suñ football bi. At the time, there were a lot of football administrators who understand on football, including the referees, because man mismo bopa, I did not understand football the way I understand it now, but I was not trained. So we all do things by ourselves. Like danga hol yow lo fok mo correct lol nga dan def. So coach ci tamit luñ fok mo correct ñon tamit lo len dan def.
Likewise players.
Yeah, play tamit the same thing. So amlo that formal training to raise awareness on the loss of the game. So lolo tahon, if you look at the hooliganism before compared to now is lesser. Because booba da nga gis coach te mu tok bu ne mom coach la. Coach bi nga xamne mu sa dem any formal training pour certify ko coach, because do mëna nek coach without any formal training by a recognized institution pour certify la wote to carry out that activity. While lola dan am, just like refereeing tamit, I told you how I started. I have never gone to a formal institution bu ma recognize ne I am wanted to officiate matches. That was not done. So yini dafa in the hooliganism. So matches they were memorable because there were a lot of hooligans in those games.
Well, Mungani dual detail if time allows us. Any of the final one, because I was there with chief, the late chief Ibrahim Jambe.
Yes.
He was very angry on that. He was the Monaco guest. The final ball. In fact, he even blasted the immigration officers that day.
Yes. At that time, that final, as a second assistant referee, second linesman, first linesman, second linesman. So, immigrations, then they can ambena goal, ma blow an offside. They understood that. So, dafa am a second goal being guiding Costco, Majilat offside. So that was where the problem is. To them, they could not accept that.
They left the first one mostly.
Yeah. So the second one, they could not accept that. So that was when they came behind me and then assault me and confrontation. See that particular match. Why it all goes down to Limala.
Yeah.
If we knew what we knew now, that incident would only that time. Incident because awareness be amuton. But within that period, up till now, there were a lot of transformation will happen. The FA is making progress now, building capacity of coaches and players. I guess this will transcend to the fans and spectators as well. But reaction coach, if the coach openly shows that he is not happy with what you are doing, the fans behind will read that. Yes. So there is a bit psychology in football.
Yeah. Then away from that, finally, let them come. You were there, come Disney Edward started the officiate first division game, the second division game. People of Farafenni don't contact Lulu. So what people know is experience for me.
Yes. Bima on combo. In combo, dafa amul ruha. So ruha are known, officially recognized areas. So ruha linkaran oil. I started with Old Jos one. So because Old Jos one lad the con. So Old Jos one is primary school. Madame must start for Fumono. But later I was introduced to one man, legi FIFA referee la ñu ko Marsala. When he saw me, he told me that yow li nga referee yaa ngi waste time. You know, you can apply to be part of the national referees. So man tamit non la def ma apply. When he told me that, actually dama call Ali because Ali momon jikon ci affaire ci. So ma call ko mu ne ma yeah you can do that. So sila apply. And then I started attending regular meetings. Then there are meetings every Monday. And from there, Nolan started to train. And Buga am confidence on me. Then you start to designate to recognize zones. Then go doors in our time. Usually Nolan did that. Balanga play in the National League. The doors in our time. We build some confidence. Because now that they meet for top. It's well attended. Matches you know, you can have 3,000 people attending, up to 15,000. You know,
versus committee team.
Very good, it's committee team. So, Fofunon lad started the gains more confidence, and then you start the schedule second division. So before my buy, I played first division, and then Nekona the first national referee could play at Bakary B.
Viewers we are watching us live on Sunu Side TV, and today my guest is Mr. Edward Saho. He's the one who is our guest today. Kono maneka duwa tena Sunu Side TV Sunu Gambi moneka Edward Saho. But Edward Saho den na yu fa na sa yu ngi wax lu important nga bay wax ñu yow kan nga bay sa reference ñaata yese nga bay wete wala ñu waxtaan ci lu tax nga bay
by na from post COVID, let's say 2020. Yeah, post-COVID.
After COVID-19 or during COVID-19?
During COVID, a reflection, I decided to leave.
No, it was a big news to many. Even realized Edu is no longer calling.
Yeah. In fact, Falesa, they were not happy. Some felt that I have a prospect in refereeing, looking at my height and commitment towards the job. But I have a different opinion entirely, you know. So I ended prematurely. I retired prematurely, and then they have to take it the way it is. Yes, and then totally, I'm not out of sports because I'm still assessing and helping young referees to become professionals. So my role now is more of an educator, because I assess people's performance, correct them, and then tell them areas to improve on. So I'm still into sports, but not as an active referee. Yes.
Interesting. Which means we are still referee assessor of West Coast region. But please tell us, how was the first year of after quitting the referee job?
Yes, during the COVID, the modelos weren't finished, so it was not something new because all what I was doing in the combos never stopped. And you know, I am from here, so when I no longer have anything to do in the combos, I definitely am put delosi. So man, feeling nekana for nearly a year, you know, nearly a year, but I'm delu. So Mumadelo, small guy, then you like, boy, side of a you know, so it was normal.
Yeah. So interesting. I also seen from your CV on your current portfolio, you are now a lecturer at the Gambia College. Tell us, please, how does that come? Is it during your referee or after quitting your referee?
It was after I quit refereeing that I became more passionate about education. Because I'm a reflection. I looked at my colleagues, where should Edward have been, and then Point Bumaneka. That reflection, the time I spent in refereeing, if I had spent that time, I would have been with a master's degree in 2020 or in pursuing a PhD. So have all this reflection. So I knew it was going to be very difficult to balance my academic with sports because refereeing was very demanding and stage mo nekkoon noonu suma allowed mu operate that don't affect my academics because what will happen is that every day from Monday to Friday the madam training from 8 to 9 training 1 hour but you leave home as early as 7 was motor ngajal put them training at the FIFA goal project every day year round, you know. So from that 9 balanga ga 10 11 da nga day sona bi nga xamne do mëna njëriñ sa bop sax, you know. So mo xol dal to me maneno haral ma focus more on academic. So mo nekkee in academics on door Gambia College. So there, I started the assessor, you know. Why with assessor, you have time to read, you will have time to do all other things because yow du yow yaay daw nit ñi ñoy daw yow li nga def moy da nga jaar dafa melni comme légui coach nga assessor dal moy referee coach. Okay. Xam nga footballer day am coach. Yeah. Footballer ñoy daw def yoy non. So coach bi yow technique nga joxe. You know, your technician assessors tamit non lañ nek ñom technician la. So sila wañi lifin bobu non ma nek mo technician. Then sila ko that was how I was able to now create balance being an assessor and an academician. So non la demé be, you know, tay ma am liggéey with the college as a lecturer in the physical education department.
Yeah, you talk about the reflections. I think tell us how crucial that reflection is to your life right now.
Yeah, it's impactful because I'm doing well in all spheres. I'm doing well. That's the truth. And if I hadn't reflected, I would not have been where I am today. So the decision I took in 2019, 2020, thereabout, was a good one for me. Yes, it was a good one.
Interesting. Comme ñu nga xamné ñu la déglu den business sax most of the time comme da nga day am yeneen player yu nga xamné in as much as their players, you know, they read some book, they forget about academic. Comme lu nga nekk di wax ni dafa melni dal if I told that those two things you are not taking them together, it could have been very difficult to take a decision in your career. I think it is very important to share that insightful story with those that are watching us.
Basically, come what you've said, you know, sports, the farm a short career. It's one of the shortest career in the world because at most 40, you must be retired, do active. Now, what prospect do you have after 40? Hopefully, a lot of youngsters, they fail to reflect on. And sports deals with muscles. What if you have an unexpected injury that, you know, will not buy?
That's what they call career-threatening injury.
Yeah, career-threatening injury. Thank you very much. That's the actual right term. Now, what happens if you have that? What will you do of your life? What will become of you? So, motorhead, it is very, very important for that reflection, try to have a balance between academic and sports. Because these two can go together, only if you are determined. You know, the two can go together. Because at 40, imagine at 40, you are asked to retire from sports, you know. You have maybe 40 more years to live. But the average life of an African is 60, you know, proven by researchers, you know. 60. Okay, but even if it is 60, what will you do for the next 20 years? So, motorhead now, that academic will create a perfect sportsmanship.
So interesting. It's very clear. We have someone who want to become a referee. What advice would you tell them?
The advice I said at West Coast, which are more popular there, Farafanya Fimum. Mashallah, I'm not so popular here. You know, I don't go out very, you know, frequently. But what I say to young people is, yes, you want to be a referee, you want to be in sports, that is fine. I will encourage you. It is good to, but don't forget your books. And then a lot of young Gambians once ñu nekk ci sports rek dañ dee bëgg a bàyyi jànga bi totally. That is where I don't agree with them. Even at the college, if I'm mentoring young people, training them, I tell them, when they go back to the schools, let them inculcate this, because you are going to become a PE teacher. And when you become a PE teacher, bu nekk they use xale bi rek nga koy wax nam daw di train rek, but dimbale ko su ko defee moom tamit mu am tuuti fii nii mu blend leen si la mooy mën a dem, but bu mu negligent beneen area bi mooy wàllum jàng bi, cognitive development bi, focusing more on the psychomotor development. After daf koy ñoo sonal, but nam try mu am ñaari yëpp, su amee ñaari yëpp da nga gis ne dafa grow holistically to the type of person mu bugga, because referee mun na moo dugg university, sport personnel mun na am PhD. In Africa you have am nga referees you am PhD, am nga referees with master's degree, but Gambia amangut, why mun na moo am. So lola, we need the right mindset, we need the right training, we need the right mentorship, but it happens in Africa here, in South Africa. Gomez in fact is a medical doctor, medical doctor and then referee la. So fini pour create that balance moo nekk problème suñu demee di wax yow star nga rek bàyyi nga school.
So interesting, comme lu ma ko nekk di waxee ne we don't have much time, kon tey jii nii comme it's hardly nga gis doomi Farafenni comme yow nii we have very few comme ne war a jël referee as a career, comme loo foog ne lan lañ mën a def to change the narrative now.
Yes, pour change narrative bi, we need to change our behaviors towards referees and protect them more often. You see, I'm on a time I read an article see Farafenni sport page Reo Nasa when the new committee came, New York at the remuneration for footballers. The prices were, was it 15 to 75,000 or something like that. I cannot remember the figures, but the most important component buga wara protect guy negligent ko. So bu ma dégg referees yi ñu ngi strike mare committee bi increase nañ teams yi, and they were proudly saying that gis nga in a community you can have 100 players, but for you to have 4 referees is a problem.
That's true.
And that is what happens even at the national level, and that is why every federation must protect referees if you want football to grow. Responsibility refereeing dafa metti. Wax naa la suma story ñi dina la bañ do amati xarit sa particularly soo jógee benn community li ma dimbaloon combo mooy nekkuma si community yooyu noonu da ngaa dem Sukuta play dem ñibbi kenn xamul la, but Farafenni fii nag melul noonu. Dama dem ñu tey ñu nekk di chill ore gaay ëllëg ñu tase si field bi nga expect ne boy edu la di xay boy nga def faal ma joxe red card yow sa doo xaat ak man the next day say baaxut boy kii benn understanding am. So dafa métti bi nga xam ne committee bi rek moo la fa war a mën a protectal. Da nga team da nga am a team of 22 players nga am fans yëpp ñu ngi fa pour team bi di leen protect rek leen dimbal. Now the referee is only 1 or 2. Who should be there for them?
The committee.
Foofu la committee bi naroon a félee, and if I was there to advise them waruñoo caaxane that component, because that component nit ñi sax amuñ passion pour nekk ko. Hardly nga gis nit ku volunteer young person mu dama bëgg a nekk referee, but from childhood you are trained to be a footballer. From the school system PE teacher yëpp lu ñoo jàngal gaay mooy football athletics. So seen mind bi is not programmed to even see a career in refereeing. Xam naa sax in the selection of careers sax duñ ko dee xalaat sax man I want to be a footballer, I want to be an athlete.
That's all.
Now yow so demee ba mag gisuloo li laa encourage pour nekk referee dafa am dox ko mën a nekk xoolal Farafenni fii sax right now jëlal et sauver doomi Farafenni ñu nekk referee bëriwul. Alaaji Géey rek laa si gisoon te Alaaji Géey su la waxee lu mu fees student mi sax dañ ko dee disrespect si school bi. So moo taxit encouragement dafa war a am from the community, su ko defee the society will have a different perception towards refereeing, because refereeing is professionalized now. refereeing, you can choose a career in refereeing. Elite referees are paid salaries, from FIFA. When you become an elite referee, you are paid a certain amount every end of month. So nga focus, nga train. So it is professionalized. But at our level, it's not yet professionalized. Fee, danga dem ñu tej sa bopp sa sori len la wax. So committee bi rek mo len fa wara mëna nekkal. So if they see that, they will love becoming referees, and then Nurunga and a lot of young people make a referee in Farafenni and even the region by extension.
Interesting. I think that's point is very clear. I'm also saw the committee will look into that, and the community and the entire Farafenni will look into that. It's a very important point that you mentioned. But we are almost run out of time. So, final message to you.
Yes, thank you. Final message, right? Danga advice ni si looy def ak si looy nekk. So my message would be particularly waajuri and then the physical educationists, mooy PE teacher, because they also have a role to play in the society. In helping the young ones to grow, then try di leen encourage nañ xam ne football bi baax na, is professionalized, waaye you can also do football with academics together. So nañ try ñu am that a balance, create self-discipline. The human body lu mu bëgga dafa bëgga pleasure. So daa gis ne so amul that self-discipline doo mën a atteindre loo bëgga. Il faut nga subject body bi nga ne body bi this is what I want, mu def ko. Bul allow body bi mu decide la, but decide for the body. So then help the young ones and create a balance between academic and their choice of sports. So that is what I will tell the people, the PE instructors, my PE teachers, and parents from home, because the home also have a role to play. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much, Mr. Saho, for joining us. It's all about Sunu Side TV. Bakary B. Camara was the host, and our guest was Edward Saho, a native of Farafenni for that matter. We thank you for watching. It's all about Sunu Side TV. Keep following us, keep subscribing. We'll always bring you the latest development on sport Kachaa on Sunu Side TV. Bye from me until I come back with you. Ciao, ciao.